UFC 320 Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2 is taking place this weekend. We are finally back to having some stacked pay-per-views. I'm really excited to pick and break this one down. You probably didn't even notice the pay-per-view is this weekend because the UFC is doing the worst promotion I've ever seen in my whole entire life for this really stacked card. I was doing some doom scrolling before I pressed record on today's video, and I just want you to see the sponsored paid promotion the UFC is doing for this pay-per-view this weekend. Get a load of this. Like, you can't make that shit up. All that complaining out of the way, I genuinely don't think there's a bad fight on the UFC 320 pay-per-view. Starting off, we got Magomedov taking on Joe Pyfer. I think Joe Pyfer's opening right now is like a minus 250 favorite. Magomedov over here coming off of a win against Michael Periera. His two UFC losses have aged pretty well, though. Kyle Baralho and Sean Strickland. Those two losses have both aged pretty well with time. But if we're sitting here talking about, whose losses have aged the best, what are we really breaking down here? You know what I'm saying? Joe Pyfer's fight name is also Body Bags, but like with a Z, Like I don't want to go on public record saying I think Body Bags is going to win, Like I just I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. I don't know. I don't really have like cogent analysis for this one. I'm feeling Joe Pyfer's second round TKO. I close my eyes and that's what I see, So that's what I'm rolling with here. Joe Pyfer, second round TKO over Magomedov. But give me Magomedov to win that first round. So little comeback KO here for Joe Pyfer. I think this one I'm really looking forward to. Moving up the card, we got Josh Emmett taking on Youssef Zalal, aka the two guys who both lost a decision to Ilia Topuria. Sometimes I genuinely think the UFC sets up matchups to build stars and sacrifice people. I think that's what's going to happen here. The fan favorite in this matchup is definitely Josh Emmett. The average fan, I feel like, knows who Josh Emmett is, especially after his devastating knockout against Bryce Mitchell. But Youssef Zalal, I think, is going to go out there and finish Josh Emmett early, actually. First round submission by Youssef Zalal over Josh Emmett here. I feel like Josh Emmett is going into this knowing he's a moderate underdog. We know what Josh Emmett does, man. He bites on that mouthpiece and he throws fucking bombs. Overhand right, steps forward, places the left, right. Josh Emmett, I feel like, isn't that hard of a puzzle to solve. It's just when you get hit by him, you're so stunned, you're not thinking about solving the rest of the puzzle, And that is not me saying that if I got rocked by Josh Emmett, I'd be like, oh, easy, he's going to step forward with the left and I'm just going to shove off to the side. I'm not saying that at all. Josh Emmett would murder me. But I just think Youssef Zalal has been studying to fight Josh Emmett. He knows exactly what he's going to do. Josh Emmett's going to throw that overhand right. He's going to step off, and that's going to give Youssef Zalal the ability to catch Josh Emmett, perhaps maybe drop him, take it to the ground. I think he's going to go out there and submit Josh Emmett early. I think we're starting off UFC 320 with two back-to-back finishes. Jiri Neutron taking on Khalil Roundtree in the featured fight of the UFC 320 card. Man, you know who wins this one? The fans. The fans win this one. I've been extremely impressed with Khalil Roundtree, and I think Khalil Roundtree is a great representation for the UFC. His conversation and commentary on mental health, his conversation and commentary on his story and how he's become the man he's wanted to become now, it's beautiful and it's awesome to watch. I love everything about Khalil Roundtree. He seems like a great dude. And I'm sure you all recognize this as well when you're talking UFC or talking MMA. A lot of people kind of assume, fighters are these angry, cold-hearted human beings because they hurt people for a living. But then you look at someone like Khalil Roundtree, and I just think he's a great representation for the UFC, man. But I think any light heavyweight not named Alex Pereira, I think Yuri's beating him, man. I don't know. Here's honestly how I feel about this fight, man. I just hope both teams have fun. But yeah, I'm going to pick newly educated Jiri Prochazka to get this one done against Khalil Roundtree. I think Khalil Roundtree's fighting super safe these previous fights, especially against Jamal Hill. I mean, that performance was spectacular. But I think Jiri Prochazka just fights in such a creative, funky, unorthodox way. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if in an exchange he catches Khalil Roundtree. I don't know if he puts him out, right, but hurts him bad enough with an elbow that maybe we go 3 for 3 with finishes on the card. I'm not throwing any money towards this one, but I think we're looking at the fight of the night. This has banger written all over it. To be honest, y'all remember that clip of Jiri Prochazka at karaoke, and he just locks in and remembers he needs to get back to fighting? Here it is. Look at him go. He's chilling, hanging out with his friends. There's the look. Bang. He's ready to go. That's one of my favorite clips ever, man. And at the end of the day, I just hope both teams have fun. But I'm leaning Jiri Prochazka. My official pick is Jiri Prochazka. I just hope it's a banger, man. Coming up to our co-main event of the evening, Merab Dvalishvili is defending his title against Cory the Sandman Sandhagen. I love Cory Sandhagen. And if he were ever matched up against Sugar Sean O'Malley, I would have been on the team saying, you know what? I think Cory Sandhagen goes out there and outstrikes Sugar Sean O'Malley. However, we're not getting that matchup. We're not getting that matchup anytime soon, probably. And you know what else I don't think is happening anytime soon? Merab Dvalishvili losing an MMA fight. I just don't think it's happening, man. Man, I don't know. I think Merab's just going to do exactly what he does to everyone else. He's going to grind him out. My prediction for this one is that we are going to get a buzzer beater finish from Merab Dvalishvili. I think we're going to get the typical Merab title defense. Cory Sandhagen maybe looks decent on the feet a little bit there, right? Umar showcased some vulnerability. Sean O'Malley showcased some vulnerability. I think that first fight against Sugar Sean was a lot closer than I think people give Sean credit for, but I think Cory will be able to exploit some of those same vulnerabilities, right? Be able to sting Merab a little bit. Maybe even goes as far to be the first guy who kind of puts Merab in some trouble, right? Really gives him some danger in this title run. God forbid Cory lands a knee or something. And God forbid, fuck it, man. Maybe Cory lands a blast knee and gets Merab out of there. But to be honest, I think that's the only method of victory Cory has. As much as I love Cory Sandhagen, he's probably one of like 5 UFC fighters I'm subscribed to on YouTube. I really like his content. I really like just hearing him talk. You know, he's one of the, he seems like a cool guy, you know. I can't find myself picking Merab Dvalishvili. It doesn't make any sense. My prediction, buzzer beater finish, round 5, late in round 5, either gets the TKO or submission or over Cory Sandhagen. Finding either the late submission or late TKO against Cory Sandhagen. I just think Cory can go 5 rounds with anyone on planet Earth. But 5 rounds against Merab Dvalishvili, man, who can do that? Guy's a fucking robot. I mean, they call him the machine for a reason. I think he grinds Cory out, maybe drops a round, but gets the buzzer beater finish, man. Defending his title once again, making that conversation for the bantamweight GOAT not necessarily close anymore. I think we're looking at a legendary run right now, man, and I'm taking it in. I'm appreciating greatness while it's right here in front of me. Do you guys, ever reflect back on the fact that Magomed Ankalaev lost to Paul Craig? I think about that sometimes. I don't know. I think everyone knows that it would be so much better for the sport if Alex Pereira got his belt back, you know? It would be it would be better for the UFC. It would be more exciting to have a light heavyweight champion who gets finishes, you know? But I fear lightning is going to strike twice. I don't know. Am I dumb to say I think we're just going to see the same fight? I know literally we're seeing the same fight, but the Sean O'Malley Merab rematch, for example, because we were just talking about it, it was a different fight the second time around. Merab looked a lot better, dominated more, got the finish. You know what I'm saying? In rematches, we've seen different outcomes. I think we're literally just going to get the same thing. I think we're going to get a razor-close fight, kind of a snooze fest. Magomed Ankalaev itches out a decision. I wish I could say I think we're going to get Magomed Ankalaev dominating for 5 rounds, really separating himself from the rest of the light heavyweight division, or Alex Pereira is going to get his belt back in a flash left hook KO, but I genuinely just think we're going to see the same thing twice, and maybe that's a boring prediction, maybe that's a bad take, I don't know, but I think we're going to come back to my instant reaction, UFC 320, going, wow, Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree, that was a banger. Wow, Merab Dvalishvili, Cory Sandhagen. Maybe that was a little closer than we thought it was going to be. But I think we're going to come here reflecting on Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev too, and going, you know what? I really didn't need to see that rematch so soon. I wish I saw Pereira fight someone else before he came to Magomed Ankalaev. Or I wish Magomed Ankalaev defended his belt against another contender and then gave the rematch to Alex Pereira. I don't see this fight going any differently than it did the first time. I really don't. Which sucks because Alex Pereira plus 230? Dude, it's screaming at me. Plus money on Alex Poetan Pereira, you know? It sounds like free cash, but I really don't see this fight going any differently than the first time. Give me Magomed Ankalaev by decision.
I have an unhealthy obsession with spending money, but I have a healthy obsession with making it.
You know what that means? Wrapping up today's video with the Bunky Bet. And bam, 2-leg juicer here. We're trying something a little different. Usually I just go fighter money line. This time, I'm going specific with my predictions, right? I don't think Merab and Cory's going to go the distance. Give me that for plus 240. And Ankalaev, hold on now. And Ankalaev versus Periera, 2 go the distance, because I genuinely think we're just going to see the same fight twice. This 2-leg plus 614, you're kidding me, man. If there's one thing about Bunky MMA, it's that as soon as the pay-per-view finishes, I'm pressing record and I'm giving you my instant reaction. So I'll see you guys Saturday night, hopefully after a really great night of fights. This and UFC 321 I'm super excited for. These pay-per-views are stacked and these pay-per-views are looking awesome, man.